Guys, Slendermancer here. Welcome back to the woods. And last weekend we had our Millennium Regional qualifier for the Doom Dimensions. I was fourth place, 7-1. My only loss was to Mermail. It was a very annoying game, but you know, sometimes FTK decks do FTK. But this will be a nice quick profile. If you want more in depth, just let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, let's get into it. First, I played Pure Yummy. I didn't like the Mitsu stuff. Troll exists and it bricked way too hard, and some non-engine choices are not possible in it. But first, Yummy Monsters, we have the 3 Cookie, 3 Cupsy, 3 Lolipo, and then 3 Marshmallow. Pretty standard. People have been cutting down Lolipo. I think you need every single name that you can run because of beating a school. Being at 1, you want to have as many chances to open a start as possible. In the last video, I kind of contradicted myself and I had to put it in there first a little bit. The best name to open on its own, in my opinion, is probably the Cupsy because he gets it everywhere. And then if you open him in a hand trap, you just do the Almirage summon the Cupsy special, and then you get to search anything. You can search any of the other names with Cupsy, and he's just the best one, hands down, in my opinion. Marshmallow is definitely a close second, though, but it's definitely Cupsy. And then 3 Purge, because we're on the pure version, we get to run this because you don't lock yourself out of running any Mitsurugi cards because you're not running them. Came up a few times, you can thrust into it. The only thing it turns off really is Ash, and then some of the extra deck cards. Outside of that, doesn't really matter too much. Very important that the destroy is not mandatory if you do have a trap engrave. Never happened where I didn't want it to pop, but it is just very important that it does pop in certain instances. And then 3 Imperm. The only good hand trap into any K9 deck, in my opinion, is Imperm, which is why I still run it. People say it's bad. I do very much disagree. It is your only hand trap that can consistently hit them when they know your hand against the FTK decks, because Ripper can't negate this. They have to go through Infinity and have to have the bites go into Infinity before they do the Dagda play. Otherwise, you just Imperm the Dagda and they can't do anything about it. And then the rest of the non-engines like Ash, Insane, just really good card. And then main decking Droll, really good into all the Mitsu decks. Is pretty decent into the K9 deck because depending on how they start, like if they start with like Jokul or Case, they can't search afterwards, and it kind of hinders their bodies, and they have to have like open Zuna, and they have to open a lot more outs to play through the Droll. Whereas Droll's just super good. Either if it's not in your deck at all, feel like you're playing wrong, either main board or sided. I just wanted to main board because I had the space, and I wanted to see it. And then 3 Bell, probably in my opinion, one of, if not compared to this, best hand trap in the format right now. It's pretty much every single deck in the format. Hits Draco Tail Traps, Mitsu cards engraved, hits the Prayers, hits pre-prep, hits Yummy is summoning back. Everything you want it to hit, it hits except for Charmies. Really, really good card. Love it at 3. Which leaves me the Altards, but that's this point. And then 3 Fulos. I mean, it's 2025. If you're not playing a Charmy in your main board and you're running hand traps, you're just not playing it right. As much as I hate that you have to run these, you just have to. No Perulia, think that card's bad. No Males, I can see where that card's better than Perulia, but didn't want to try to find the other 2, and I don't really feel like it's necessary. And then Striker Engine, we have the 3 Engage, and the 1 Hornets runs. If you're playing Pure and you're not playing this, then you're probably not playing Pure because you're playing the Silph Court stuff. I don't like Prairie Rice Map. I don't like the Ability Lock. It plays too much into Droll, like the card I showed earlier. And yes, if you get Drolled on your Engage, yes, it can hurt, but you also could still establish something because you get to the Cupsy Synchro or Lolipo Synchro. You just get into something at least, whereas the Prairie Rice Map, they drill you and you search stably. All you're doing is sending Italy to their board, and if they have any way of playing through it, you lose the game. 1 of each field spell. You have to run it. Never place this going first. Always play this going first, and sometimes I even play this going second because of Marshmallow's effect to place from deck. Because I want to out a board, and this gives you the protection to be able to do so. Had someone, there was an Odeon player I played, they went Drill Beam on this in battle phase, and I just
tagged out, summon Marshmallow, let this get banished, summon Marshmallow, place this back, and it's still OTK'd with even more damage than before because you get 2 bodies back. And then 1 surprise. I was on 2 for the longest time. I do understand why you only need 1 now because of Marshmallow, but this did get banished 1 time and it hurt. But I can understand it. If you want to play 2, I would say main deck 1, side deck the other one if you really need it in a certain matchup. But I was perfectly fine with 1 I did. I only missed it the second one time, and then would have been schooled. Honestly, I have had more issues with this card than I've liked to admit because of it not letting you just summon Herald. It makes, as soon as you use this, your opponent's looking at the nib in their hand and they're like, this is going to be juicy. Because they can wait until the end of your combo and then nib you. Because you can't make Herald, you can't threaten Herald at all. And yeah, but still, best card, one of the best cards in the deck, trustable into, and everything like that. And then the 2/3 of the Holy Trinity here for Yu-Gi-Oh! Talents called by. Like whenever I drew them, I was winning the game. Call buying 5 mana feels really nice. Call buying a Charmy feels really nice. And then Talents is just such a punishing card. And then 2 Thrust in the main board. Didn't come up too much in the main board, but it has its like contingencies. Like if you get nibbed, you can go Thrust into Talents if you're still able to play, and then just hand rip another card from their hand and just go, oh, you just minus yourself 2, and I still get to end on a Herald, and then they're just upset. 42 card main here though. Not too much I would change about it. If you want to cut out the Thrust to play an even 20, I completely understand it. I would just move to the sideboard then. I feel like Thrust has to be somewhere in your deck if you're playing Pure, because being hit by Charmy, you can thrust into like the deep area for the matchups. And then for extra deck, of course, we're on the 3, Snatchy. Some lists are cutting it down to 2 in like some variants. I think no matter what variant you're on, you have to run 3, because there are lines where you go through literally all 3, especially if you get like nibs or something like that, and it is very relevant to have 3. When I bought these, I did not realize this was Italian. I had to pull this out like 3 times in one of my matches when I was summoning this one, and I'm like, cool. But love this card. It is once per chain, but you can use it in battle to interrupt, and you can use it during your own main phase. Just know you can't use it during your battle phases. And then we're the other Link ones: Spider, Amirage, Kagari. Game 1, round 1. My opponent nibbed me, asked me if I ran Spider. I showed him, and he scooped. Every time I got nibbed, I won the game because you run this card, and sometimes all you need is another one, and you still have lethal. All Mirage is if you open a hand trap and you want to play around certain cards, and just Synchro Kagari for Striker package. Just know if you purge, you can't use Kagari, which is like the only time where purge feels kind of bad is if you only open Striker. But outside of this almost came up where it swung over something, but it didn't. Still really good, just being able to add back. Just watch out for Bell when you use Kagari. And then the 2s, we run IP, SP. No Onari is a fun card to play. I feel like it's wrong to play nowadays. It never really came up nearly as much as this has come up. And this has come up. There was a game where I literally was playing SP Control with somebody, and I ended up winning because SP Control until you draw a yummy name to go full combo in OTK works out pretty well. And then next we got Synchros. We got one of each yummy name. Nothing really too spicy there. You just run them all. You shouldn't cut any of the names. You shouldn't increase the number of any of the names. 3 is just the sweet spot, which is why you don't adjust it at all. And then I'm running for the Synchro 3s. Marcher, Starham, and Starcat. This came up exactly 1 time, I think, yesterday. It's not too good in Pure, but it helps you recycle your Herald, which is why I run it. Because sometimes you do just need to recycle it, so you just go through this, use this to make like IP or something like that, and then summon it back, putting back the Herald, and then just remake the Herald with this in a 1. It has this potential to come up, and I can see in like certain matchups where that'll be relevant, like if they force out the Herald early, which is also why you would run it. And then this is just the best one, I still think, in Pure, because you just use the body, you summon back off this to make a Snatchy, and just go from there. And then this is if you get being schooled, and I use this proactively to go for an OTK by placing the minion with Marshmallow. It's really good that they trigger the effects, and then one of Herald, don't need to explain them, Floodgate or Negate, and just overall really good card. I'm glad it's not banned. It should not get banned, although I keep saying it should be banned. Are just yummy haters and want the deck to die. And then we have sideboard, 3 retaliating C. Didn't see it once, but really good for Draco Tail. Outside of that, it just feels mid against everything else because Mitsu still triggers everything. Then third thrust, sided in if you're going second or first. Just always sideboard card. You just don't want to run too many because if you open it multiples, it will break. Duster, Dark Ruler, and then I'll run 2 Lightning Storms. Board breakers. I had a hand where I opened both Dark Ruler and Duster and won the game because they looked in the hand and like, oh, and proceeded to lose. Then 2 Lightning Storm. Honestly, I realistically will cut this for another card if I can get it, but we'll get into that one later. The spicy tech here that we are running, I saw Julian Kahn run this on DB, and Iron Man running Rabbit, and the Pophis traps, one of each, to play around Dark Ruler. If you see this, then you don't have to worry about making this. But if you see this, it doesn't matter. You still do this. You just have ways to help the Dark Ruler because you can still respond with this and then negate it. I used this to negate a Fallen of Albaz and just played control. They super used 2 away for Garua, couldn't swing over this, and then I top tech a name and won because of it. Really fun, like kind of thing. You just use the 2 bodies, summon off Holy Po to make this, and then just move on. And then 2D barrier. This is not the card I was talking about. We're sending that one for last. If you have to run this card in this format, you have fusions, rituals, synchros, exes. You hit everything except for, I guess, Malice. But if some people aren't playing Malice with the way that it is there now, you should just win with your non-engine anyway. And then my tech is the Grave Creeper's Inscription. I did not see it once, but if you think about it, it is really strong right now. It doesn't make stopping effects from Graveyard or stopping banishing from Graveyard. It hits every deck in the format because you can stop the only deck it doesn't really hit is the pure Yummy Mirror because you don't want to stop yourself from something from grave. You stop the Mitsu cards from activating in grave. You hit the Draco Tail cards from activating in grave, and then you can stop Malice from banishing, stop Orcs from banishing, stop Lupus from activating, everything like that. But sorry for the speedy profile, not too much on time here, but thank you all for watching. Let me know if you have any comments or any questions you want to ask about this deck. I've been rocking this since Anaheim, as you saw the Anaheim profile earlier. But shoutouts to Millennium Games being best local. Shout out to AJ for being the cameraman for this pretty much impromptu profile here. And shout out my boys for my Crash Out Discord, and basically everyone who just supports me. It's just really nice having a community that allows me to improve as best as I can. And have a good rest of your